The Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babis will ask voters for another 4 years in power this weekend as the country goes to the polls. Mr. Babis, one of the Czech Republic's richest men, has been mired in scandal for years. But there were fresh allegations this weekend that he used offshore companies to buy property on the French Riviera, something he says did not break any laws. Rob Cameron has more from Prague.
For decades, this has been the country's most notorious motorway, the D1, linking Prague and Brno, famous for its bone-shaking surface, massive tailbacks and frequent accidents. But now, just before the elections, Andrej Babis, with a little help from EU structural funds, has fixed it.
We're fulfilling what we promised. We're building motorways. And yes, our critics will say that we're doing this because of the elections. But I think that presenting the fruits of our labour is nothing to be ashamed of.
However, trumpeting his government's achievements will not be enough to win a majority in Parliament. He'll need coalition allies, possibly on the far right. They want a referendum on leaving the EU, which has helped pay for all these new motorways, a prospect that fills some people with dread, even though, being Czechs, they're still ready to poke fun at it.
General concern is that we will be pushed more into the Russian sphere, and that's something you don't want to, especially in my generation, because I remember the Russian occupation, and it wasn't pretty, and it wasn't fun.
Mr. Babis's opponents have seized on fresh revelations he bought property on the French Riviera using offshore companies in 2009. He says this wasn't illegal and he paid tax on it. But he seems rattled.
The notorious potholes and tailbacks of this motorway are gone now, and so it's a smooth ride for the nation's motorists. But the man who boasts of getting this job done for them appears increasingly isolated, and his coalition options are limited. So some people here are deeply worried at the direction he's willing to take this country in, especially when there's no clear idea of the destination. Rob Cameron, BBC News, Prague.
And do stay with us here on BBC News. Still to